Hello and welcome everyone to the River Falls Public Library Fall Poetry Open Mic. Just a couple things to mention before we get going. We're having one of our semi-annual book sales upstairs in the lobby, which will I think go until Thanksgiving, we've decided. So be sure and check that out. And then for upcoming events, this Thursday, November 17th at 6:30, we have a virtual only presentation on our Facebook or YouTube channels. Patty Lowe is presenting 7th Generation Earth Ethics, Native Voices of Wisconsin. So tune into that. And then also stay tuned for Gingerbread Contest entry rules. We'll be putting those out soon. That'll be happening the first week of December. And with that, I think we'll get going. And first up is Jesse Whitford, aka UK.
Thank you. And will this be a good spot for this too? And then that'll stay there. It'll stay there like that, I'm sure. Was this one level? Okay. I think I have to high jump on her. Okay. Let me look in the camera. Look pretty. Hi, I'm Jesse Whitford, aka UK, and the songs that I wrote were during COVID, like most of other songs. I am gonna do my Hills first. The song is entitled "Hills of Zion." I wrote it pre-COVID, but got to memorize it and practice more during COVID. So it goes, "Hills of Zion." Is this on, by the way? Hills of Zion, men and women crying. They miss the truth. Oh, how we love to hate abuse. Youth looking for direction. This is my impression. Who leads our leaders? Who influence believers? Even in a drought, scripture says cedars will grow. Oceans of love will reach below. Just ask my next of kin, whose name is Jesus, but he's not only Mexican, known as all skin, but more importantly, defeated sin. Some people think of him as fake and phony, but I assure you he's nothing short of holy. Waiting on that matrimony. Oh Lord, my King, you leave your peace. Death has something in common with wrestling. It has no sting. Satan got DDT'd in the ring. I stand all that I am. The one who plans understands my pain. If I didn't struggle, it'd be like saying you died in vain. But the vine is ripe for the taking. Me and Daddy are not just we tight. Children of God help make me an apostle. Jesus dug me out of the dirt like a fossil. The fact that he even stands at my door and sits at my table is colossal. That's Hills. The next one I'm going to do is called Ghost. I wrote it. A friend of mine passed away about 5 years ago, and this was kind of a dedication to him. And I wanted to do a song for the youth in my local church at the time. And I wrote it, and they helped me with perfecting it a little bit by bit. So here it goes. And I'm going to turn my speaker on and try to be in rhythm here. Okay, this song. I'm just going to sample it first, make sure it works. Okay, it works. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Waking up just to survive. No one is alive. In dreams I strive because my best friend died. Just to let him know I'm grateful for his flow. Unknown on the microphone. You are the flame, I am the vessel. God provides a roast, and nobody kill this ghost. You are the flame, I am the vessel. God provides a roast, and nobody kill this ghost. You are the flame, I am the vessel. God provides a roast, and nobody can kill this ghost. Verse 2. All alone, I'm scared. My parents are impaired. If only I heard about the one who served, who does more than mirror. Sick of living in fear. It's just a disease. We need the cure. I live as a zombie. Wish you'd adopt me. I ran long enough. Someone call my mommy. Always tight, never sloppy. I know you got me coming back from the dead like a Nazi zombie. You are the flame. I'm the vessel. God provides a roast, and nobody kill this ghost. You are the flame, I am the vessel. God provides a roast, and nobody kill this ghost. You are the flame, I am the vessel. God provides a roast, and nobody kill this ghost. Third verse. Their day set free. Your boy bleeds literally. Hence the lyrics you see. Talking to God a must. Beware the sword thrust. Not talking about lust. Call me a freak. I just can't get enough. I love how your boo just threw himself under the bus just to have an open-ended relationship with us. Dios mío, I just can't get enough. You are the flame. I am the vessel. God provides a roast, and nobody kill this ghost. You are the flame, I am the vessel. God provides a roast, and nobody kill this ghost. You are the flame, I am the vessel. God provides a roast, and nobody can stop this ghost. You. And the third song I'm going to do here is called Shown. I worked on it more recently, and it just speaks a lot of where I was this past season. So here we go. Going in, I'm broke as my baby comes out. No one's showing up for events. Getting high and lit my only vent. Shame only resents. Haven't sent yet hellbound. Nuts about women. Payday meets mounds. My anger and hate outweighs my pounds. DK, my fist hits the ground. Blood in my eyes and my so-called family nowhere to be found. Jesus, you really got you now? You really got your boy now? I can show you. Yeah, I can show you. Yeah, I can show you. Yeah, I can show you. Yeah. Second verse. Second verse, a converse, daddy erased the curse. BFF with the man who drives my hearse. Shown up since birth. So what's my worth? More than what Dora can explore. More than any group's encore. I'm a fiend, I just want you more. Your love is my core, and all I had to do was open my door. Lord, have your way. Lay me out on your floor. I just want you more. I can show you. Yeah, I can show you. Yeah, I can show you. Yeah, I can show you. Yeah. Third verse was getting worse until he lays my demons in the dirt so your boy doesn't hurt. Tighter than a size 0 skirt. The only reason I exist because he lives. Breath coming from that lib. Breath steadily flipping lids. The ghost isn't lazy. UK is chosen, and this be my baby. Blame, shame is never my lady. It doesn't matter. You cannot stop the one that shows up on the daily. I can show you. Yeah, 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 I can show you. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much, and I will put this up.
Thanks, Jesse. That was great. Next up, we've got Randy Hubert.
Thank you. My poem, two of them I'm going to read tonight. One is, poem is Sweet and Calling. My love for home is sweet and calling. My love for home is calling. My love for home is sweet and calling. My love, my love for home is. I travel far in distance. I travel far in time. But home is just one thought away with all that love so kind. I like to have a kitchen sink to wash a dish or two. I love to have a kitchen sink to wash a dish with you. This tells me that I'm in a place where there is love. It tells me I'm in a place where home is sweet and calling me. Home is sweet and calling me. My mother always washed our hair at the kitchen sink. She used that liquid Prel so green in that bottle that couldn't break. She held our heads so gentle, firm to reassure that she would not let any soap reach into our eyes. Home is sweet and calling me. Home is sweet and calling me. Once was a sign of progress that showed we have arrived, a thing of modern convenience washed away our discontent, a place to wash a child's hair, a mother's gentle touch, to reassure a child below, no soap shall reach their eyes. Home is sweet and calling me. Home is sweet and calling me. We love its functionality, but it was so much more. A place to view the future, a place one saw the world. From that kitchen sink, our lives would be led from one life to another as age pushed us ahead. Home is sweet and calling me. Home is sweet and calling me. I see my life in something I no longer appreciate. It's a place to store one's heart and soul and things that I regret. I ask so much of thee, this now pleasant sink, to hold my life until I die and bless blissful memories. My mother always washed our hair in the kitchen sink. And the second one I want to do is a little bit different. It's called Side by Side. I need a little crowd participation. Knock, knock. Who's there? Your soul. A poem my soul said one day, not for you, because of you. Germination. I am alive. What I am is still a mystery to me, for it is dark. I cannot see. We shall become in time what we will. We are like leaves, you and I, that have fallen from separate trees, now laying side by side in life and in grave. In life, my only concern is that you are happy with yourself, not your life. Oh, I don't mean to say what you do with your life is not important. It's just, well, only what you feel about yourself is important to me. Nothing else matters. Enjoy the show of clouds. Sing the song of leaves. The grave. Do not pine for days misled. Our task was to search the truth. You were, I came. We are, we shall be no more. Thank you.
And next we have Kaylee Penton.
I retired about a year ago, and all of a sudden you have all this time and trying to find a new way, how you live your life now when you're not being directed by, I was a teacher, so I got up at 5:30 every morning, on the road at 6:30. I was at school, it was all directed. It was all, I had that. And I loved it. I loved that life. And then retired and have all this wonderful time, and I can sleep late. But what do you do? What do you do with all that time? And I found a new way of finding what to do. The paths are shorter now and often change directions. Maybe because time is accelerating as a life of journeys rambles towards rest. I was on the last pass for only a day or two. It veered right, then left, parallel to the one I'd just been on. I don't deliberate or second guess so much anymore. My lawn is on a path less intentional. Indian paintbrush, oranges, flames in a ring of fire, and patches of yellow buttercups have shown up like crop circles, alien yet indigenous. The yard has found its own way. After years of purpose and direction from fertilizer and grass seed, watering and mowing, much like I find my way now, moving to a nudge deep in my dirt. So I spent a lot of time walking in my time, and learned a lot from what I see and experience on my walks. And I like to take people, I like to paint the picture for you, and I would say, if you want to close your eyes and imagine this, but maybe this one is not the one to do it with. Okay. A dead red squirrel lies on the gravel shoulder, flat on its back, legs splayed. I walk briskly by and avert my eyes from its bloody head and gut and glassy black stare. My heart mourns this little broken body, incongruent with the sky that is endlessly blue and a sun that is free. Breathless, busted squirrel, you have gone now the way of all the earth. Heavy words for a small, wild woodland creature, yet a fitting elegy for even the least of life. And then this one is a recent one. And I have to tell you the background to this one. I have apple and pear trees in my yard, and it for 25 years, and it tracks deer and turkeys, always wanting the apples. And I have grandchildren, family out in California, so I take pictures of this wildlife and send it out to my granddaughters. And I had this young buck that's been coming to my apple tree all summer. Didn't know he was a young buck until later in summer. And so I sent that out to my granddaughter, and this, so she emailed me back and said, I had told her all about this buck, and she emailed me back and said, my mom says you should give him a name. That was in the afternoon. Well, that morning I wrote, before I got that, I had written this poem. And so when I got that, my reaction was quite, I reacted anyway. So this is what I wrote the morning before I got that. I dare not name him, the young buck striding across the lawn, broad-breasted like the bow of a barge pushing through the water. I watch him from the kitchen window. He stops beneath the apple and pear trees lush with fruit, anchored, alert. Does he hear the running tap water and clinking of glass dishes being washed? I turn the faucet off, freeze. He bends his head, crowned with an immature rack of 6 points. and begins mashing juicy pears in his jaw. I have watched him throughout the summer grow from a frisky, spotted fawn who came with his mother for blossoms, leaves, and windfall fruit into this solitary buck feeding alone. Suddenly he jumps and turns at the roar of a big engine truck racing by, the sound amplified by the hills on either side of the road. He settles again, statuesque, and stares at me, staring at him through the window, the ceiling light behind me illuminating a human presence, a perceived threat. I slip down slowly and crawl over to the out of sight to the light switch and flip it off. When I return, he is still there, eating, edgy. Then something disturbs him, and he bolts away into the wooded hillside. I know that the neighbors on each side of me have been aware of him, watching too. Hunters, waiting for November for bow and rifle season. But he's my deer. I can count the points on his antlers. My trees have nourished him. His name is, I dare not give him a name. He is a child of the wild, of the earth, and I have no claim to him. And I have, one more. In 2016, I had 4 grandkids born. That was last year. My husband was alive, and he had, I don't know, there's something, he had such an awareness of the human spirit. I don't know how to describe it. But anyway, this is addressing some of that. We went to see our 4th grandchild born that year. Tiny little Peanut, 6 weeks old, sits in her car seat that was carried like a basket and placed on the floor. Alert, her eyes follow her grandpa's round face as he bends low to sing a song made up on the spot in delight at their first meeting. You're a beautiful girl, you're a beautiful girl, and I love you so. She is quiet in her tininess, shifting her eyes to his movement as he sways and sings. Later, as she lies in her bassinet, their dialogue continues. Grandpa talking, singing, infant staring, slightly smiling, both absorbed in this inexplicable conversation between baby and dying man. Does this silken thread of perception that first bound them together now years ago, somehow, someway, still live in her psyche, transcending the death 5 months later of her grandfather who had created, just for her, one last love song? Thank you.
And now Doug Margolis.
I want to write a poem to inspire you as your smiling eyes do me. Would be the flashes of the sun sparkling in the Pacific's caresses and slow, lazy dances with the sand. Would be what words can really say without the rush hour delaying my return and disappointing you again and again, like the waves dancing with the sand. Would be the tears held back and my aching heart beating with the pulsing flow of commuters passing the slopes of quivering azalea in the winter cold, magpie perched on a power line. Would be another language nibbling on my ears, like the limb of a tree tapping on my window over and over again, incessantly pleading for understanding. I want to write a poem clothed in Korean hanbok, rich blue silk of a yangbang gentleman, topped with a black hat, inspiring justice, scholarship, service, accompanied by my necessities, kind friends, wise teachers, a soulmate. I want to write a poem like a mountain, not straight lines capped by a perfect triangle of snow. Would be a mountain with bulging rock outcrops, chaotic avalanche fields, trickling streams of hidden water, teasing thirsty climbers, baking in the sun as they rise far above the timberline. Would be the fragrance of alpine phlox, tantalizing the high meadows as day after day the shadows of the clouds find other places to roam. But how can I fit this mountain into my poem, where no black bear dare seeks blueberries, and all about me is a flat, barren horizon, where even the bird songs cannot be heard, and where the only water is deep beneath the surface, sand crushed by years. I want to write a poem where you and I can hide from the world, hide from the terrible choices we're coerced to make. Would be us alone, together, listening to songs of our breaths united and our laughter and the quiet satisfaction of nothing more needing to be said or done, just being one together. Would be the walls between us dropping away, syllables and phonemes stacked like sandbags for us to hide behind, fortress ramparts holding back the enemies, time, exhaustion, responsibilities. Would be the fragrance of phlox and sage, an alpine lake, a beautiful, never-ending summer day. Thanks.
Was there anyone else who wanted to read who didn't get a chance to sign up? We definitely have time. Okay.
This comes to you from my high school experience, so a little old for me. I am older than high school, just so you know. It's called The Simple Life. The simple life is the life of many. They are the people who cultivate the land, sweat in the sweatshops, build roads, construct houses, chart waters, map lands, and mine oil. They are the worker bees that serve a queen, the electrons that orbit a nucleus, and the first ants to leave the trail to food. The simple life is one without recognition nor fame. Everyone is considered the same, like all the hairs of a lion's mane. Their life is looked down upon, thought to be full of pity and shame by those who know nothing of it. The people of the simple life find many rainbows in their skies, taking nothing for granted as they work to create a home for themselves. The complex and famous life is the life of few. They are the people who make discoveries, find cures to diseases, invent things, act on TV, and walk on the moon. They are the birds who fly above the rest, never having to worry about where to nest, and the spiders who walk on water. The people of the complex and famous life are known by many. They are the people who appear in magazine articles, on TV, and in history books. They are the people who are remembered. What if there were no simple life people? What would happen to the complex and famous people? They would fall, like all matter during a supernova, crashing down to the core of the simple life, and those who could live off the land would survive. But those who cannot would be cast into outer space in beautiful colors for all to see.
Anyone else? Otherwise, I'll close things out here. Yes? That's fine. Yeah.
Is about someone on the Outer Hebrides, I believe, the islands of Scotland. Aunt Julia spoke Gaelic, very loud and very fast. I could not answer her. I could not understand her. She wore men's boots when she wore any. I can see her strong foot stained with peat, paddling with the treadle of the spinning wheel, while her right hand drew yarn marvelously out of the air. Hers was the only house where I've lain at night in the absolute darkness of a box bed, listening to crickets being friendly. She was buckets and water flouncing into them. She was winds pouring wetly round house ends. She was brown eggs, black skirts, and a keeper of 3-penny bits in a teapot. Aunt Julia spoke Gaelic very loud and very fast. By the time I had learned a little, she lay silenced in the absolute black of a sandy grave at Luscantire. But I hear her still welcoming me with a seagull's voice across 100 yards of peat scrapes and lazy beds, and getting angry with so many questions unanswered. That was Aunt Julia by Norman McCraig.
All right, I'll close with one of my own. I don't usually write poems with structure, but sometimes when you're not particularly inspired, it's a wonderful way of forcing you to put something down on paper. This is called Sonnet to Our New Roof. The storm broke swift one late September night, and soon the rain did turn to pebbled hail. 'Twas then came city sirens' mournful wail. We moved our cars 'neath tennis balls of ice. Then trapped in our garage we sat in fright, as through the yard our garbage cans set sail, and wondered that our home could be so frail, while up above our eaves paid dear the price. Now salsa music plays from dormer peaks, where men with accents hammer shingles fast. State Farm cut us a check within mere weeks. Scant evidence but stray nails in the grass remain to show where Boreas once shrieked. I bag dry leaves and pray our new roof lasts. I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight on this first blast of winter here. I'm sure we'll be doing another event for National Poetry Month in April, if not before that. So keep an eye out and bring a friend next time. And thanks to everyone who read. It was great. I think we'll have to stop calling it poetry open mic and just call it open mic vocal performance, which is fine. So thank you. Yeah.
Years ago, I was in a little church in North Carolina,
Mhm.
and I think there were about 10 of us. And what they said was, at a poetry reading, each person counts for 7.
We got 7.
We got 77 people.
I'll see if my director will accept that on our program statistics. Have a cookie, have some coffee. Feel free to hang out for a little bit.